Why does learning feel like it shuts off the moment school ends? You finish your last exam, pack away textbooks, and the world expects you to stop growing. But what if that's exactly when real learning begins? Imagine the dim glow of a bedside lamp flickering on after lights out. That quiet space where curiosity can breathe free. How can continuous self-education reshape your future beyond formal schooling? Think of your daily choices, not just what you learn, but how you carry and apply it, as the real engine of change. The familiar routine of school ends, but the habit of self-teaching can stretch decades beyond, remaking what you thought was fixed. The quiet halt after graduation. What happens when graduation caps hit the floor? Years ago, I saw my neighbor, fresh out of college, shove her textbooks into a box. That last spark of structured learning packed away like an old sweater. Later, she sat on her porch, scrolling through her phone. The same device that once helped her research papers was now mostly a portal to endless scrolling. It hit me. She'd hit a stop sign. School was over. The chapters closed. But the world kept flipping pages fast. Technology rewrote itself every week. Ideas evolved overnight. Yet she was parked, frozen in place. Her phone could have been a bridge, not a barrier. It's a tool that either pulls you into distraction or pushes you into transformation. She leaned into distraction, losing the chance to grow with the shifting landscape around her. New skills and knowledge didn't arrive with a diploma. Without the habit of learning built into her daily rhythm, she was already behind. When you stop learning, you risk becoming a spectator in your own life. Like a commuter who misses the exit because they're busy texting, you lose track of the path forward. It's not about degrees or certificates. It's about staying curious enough to keep walking through the places where the ground moves beneath your feet. So, how do you keep going when official education ends? How do you stay in motion while the world spins faster? That moment on the porch felt like a quiet freeze. But what if it doesn't have to be? Could the habits we build today carry us through unexpected shifts tomorrow? Could learning become less of a class and more of a lifeline? The answer waits just beyond that stillness. That's where we start next, by making success more than just a hope or a chance. Success as a predictable outcome. But success doesn't just happen overnight. It isn't a flash of luck or a magic trick you stumble upon one morning. Real success is predictable. It's the result of persistent effort, discipline, and a hunger to learn every day. I once saw an entrepreneur who built her business like it was a slow-burning fire. She didn't wait for a windfall or a lucky break. Instead, she learned from every mistake, adjusted her approach, and showed up with the same grit on Monday mornings as she did on Fridays. This steady grind, this constant tuning of skills and mindset, is where growth actually lives. The old idea that knowledge equals power misses the mark if it's not put to use. You could own 100 self-help books, but until you apply what you read, you're just holding paper. The greatest investment isn't in stocks or property. It's in yourself, in the hours you spend sharpening your skills and turning information into action. Personal growth sets the ceiling for your income and your life. It's like leveling up in a game. The more you develop, the further you can go. Watch any small business climb from zero. The owner isn't hoping for a lottery win. She's reading, experimenting, failing, and learning. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's choosing to learn on a Tuesday when no one's watching. This repeated choice to grow makes success less a matter of chance and more a predictable path. But what happens when that learning stops? When the momentum hits a wall? That's where the real test begins, and where many journeys falter. How do you keep moving when the well of new knowledge runs dry? The mirage of stopped learning. Success isn't a lightning strike. It's the sum of steady effort and the grind of learning something new every day. That's the reality most people miss. They think school was the finish line, like a marathon that ends with the diploma. But real life keeps moving. Skills evolve, jobs shift, and if you stop picking up new tools, you're not standing still. You're sliding backward. I once saw a coworker skip a training session because they figured their college degree was the end of the road. "I'm good," they said, leaning back at their desk. Meanwhile, everyone else was quietly absorbing new software updates, fresh strategies, things that slowly turned their heads above the pack. 6 months later, that same person was scrambling to catch up, missing the promotion that went to someone who never paused their learning. Reading isn't just a hobby for those who get ahead. It's the way they rewrite their thinking, rewire decisions, and shift the whole trajectory of their day-to-day. You can't unlock growth by sitting still with what you once knew. One habit can change your career, but only if you make space to learn beyond what's already in the books. It's not luck, and it's not magic. It's discipline. The willingness to change your mind, to get uncomfortable, to admit you don't have all the answers, because growth dies the moment you decide you're done. So, what's really holding you back? The comfort of old knowledge or the leap into new? I'm holding one piece back that could change how you think about learning forever. Turning pages into practice. Knowing something isn't the same as living it. You can read every book on personal finance and still watch your bank account stay flat. Why? Because knowledge without action is just noise in your head. I remember a woman who soaked up every diet and nutrition book she could find. She planned meals, counted calories in her mind each morning. Yet, the scale wouldn't budge. The change came when she stopped planning and started doing. Chopping vegetables, measuring portions, cooking every day. That's when her knowledge turned into real progress. This goes beyond money or fitness. Look at the people around you. Habits and attitudes spread fast. If your circle challenges you, pushes you out of comfort, you start to break old patterns. Curiosity sparks the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. You don't have to stay a kid, but holding on to that questioning spirit lets you grow in unexpected ways. Still, curiosity alone won't get you there. It's the stubborn routine, the careful budgeting every paycheck, fixing that leaky faucet on a weekend, or having that tough conversation, that shapes who you become. So what's missing? How do you keep moving when the thrill wears off? If turning pages into practice is the first step, what stops us from taking it? That's the story we'll dive into next. In the shape of lifelong growth. The shape of lifelong growth. Now, stacking knowledge without action is like filling a savings account but never spending it. Except here, the interest compounds only when you invest. I once saw a mid-career graphic designer who started taking coding classes after work. She wasn't just chasing new skills for the sake of it. Every night, after dinner and the usual scroll through social feeds, she set up her laptop in the corner of the kitchen and practiced what she learned. It wasn't glamorous. No flashy conference rooms or instant promotions. But over months, she retooled her skill set enough to switch from design to front-end development, landing a job that felt less like a grind and more like a choice. That's the kind of growth that sticks. The value increasing with every deliberate step forward. Knowledge, by itself, is just a stack of unread books or open tabs. Real education starts when you transform those hours into habits, and habits into new paths. Think of it like a worn-in pair of tennis shoes. They don't look flashy, but they've carried you through miles of practice, opening courts you didn't know waited for you. This isn't about a quick fix or a sudden breakthrough. Discipline is the engine. It takes grit to turn just learning into actually progressing. A paycheck's not just about clocking hours. It's about what you do with the skills you build during those hours. But here's the catch. If you don't apply what you absorb, the opportunity just slips through your fingers. So, how do you make sure the knowledge you gather becomes the fuel, not the dust on your shelf? That question is where the next layer of this story lives. Most of us stop learning the day school lets us go. Yet, the real growth starts when you choose to learn again. Continuous self-education rewires your future, turning the routine into a personal journey of discovery. It's like waking up a quiet spark inside that gradually brightens your path, not with blinding light, but steady illumination. This isn't about becoming an expert overnight. It's about embracing curiosity daily, letting new ideas fold into your life, reshaping how you see the world and yourself. The conversation we explored comes from a thoughtful place. It's from Jim Rohn's talk titled, How to Self-Educate Yourself Like a Genius, on the Jim Rohn Motivational Speech channel. If this idea sits with you, the full episode is worth a listen. It's an invitation to light your own way forward, one small step at a time.